Put the fucking mic on.
And now, straight from the Law-Abiding Biker Media Studio,
out of sunny Yakima, Washington,
we bring you another episode of the
#1 listen to motorcycle podcast.
We're in your head.
We're in your head.
We're in your head.
We're in your head.
Dingle bells.
Oh, yeah.
2 words I got to say today, Lurch.
Those are some great words.
Dingle bells. Let me tell you about dingle bells. I got no dingleberries in my ass because of the dingle bells.
Do tell.
One of these seasonal fragrances, if you will. For
Not flavors. Not flavors. Definitely a fragrance and not a flavor.
It is a fragrance.
Yes.
For our beloved dude wipes, wet wipes, to keep your arse smelling fresh, feeling fresh.
Yeah.
We have been testing them, and we tested Dumpkin Spice, if you recall, for the fall season and
Love those.
Halloweeny season. Those are legit. If you like pumpkin stuff, if you like pumpkin cream cold brews, it's like a pumpkin cream cold brew for your ass, and they are delicious.
They just keep coming up with new scents, dude.
They do.
Yeah. As we're talking about it, I'll let you finish this, but there's some more new ones here. Look at this.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, because of guys like us, because we're willing to try them all.
Yeah.
I like a little variety in my life, and Dude Wipes allows me to do that. Have this extra variety. If you look at the rear tank lid of the Law-Abiding Biker store, I took a photo I have not posted yet on our Instagram, but I plan on it.
All the different ones.
It is a plethora of different flavors. We've got mint, our
Fragrances, not flavors.
Did I say flavors?
Yeah.
Fragrances on there.
You better not be in there eating them. They are plant-based.
Sometimes I want to
because they smell so damn good,
dude.
Yeah.
But I will tell you that mint is our standby year round, but
Can't beat it.
seasonally, it makes me feel like I'm in the mood.
Right.
I'm in the season. I'm partaking in the festivities, even while I'm taking a dump. What do you think about the dingle bells?
I find it quite nice. The pumpkin spice kind of got me into the fall season. The dumpkin spice, I should say, got me in the fall season. But this is really taking me into Christmas. I appreciate it.
Yeah. They have a nice piney type smell.
Yeah.
I would say.
Like
It
mold
smells,
spices.
Yeah. It smells similar to a little bit like our dude spray.
Yeah.
What's it called? Is it dude
Bomb spray.
Dude Bomb spray.
Kind of got a pine smell to
It's kind of got a similar type. Yeah. We are using that here in the studio. All the fragrances and the Dude Bomb spray guys. So I like the dingle bells. It's very nice. I will continue to use those throughout the Christmas holiday season, and it will keep me with a little bell in my step, so to speak. What fragrances are you looking at here?
So I went on, as we do this podcast, just to see if there's something new talking about dude wipes. And if you go to lawabidingbiker.com/fresh-but, it'll take you to our link. No extra cost to you, but we get a little bit on the back end. And the first one that came up for me was their best seller. It's a 6-pack. If you go into that, then you can see they have different scents. So they've got camo, which is fragrance free. As I mentioned, it's great for hunting. The fragrance free. Well, they've actually put camo on it. So don't sit your package of camo butt wipes down and lose them if you're out in the woods. They've got a fragrance free, which we knew about. Here's the new one, Herbal Relief. And
Herbal Relief.
Herbal Relief. Let me see if it tells you what Herbal Relief is.
Give me a little description.
I'm hoping it does. I'm going to have to scroll down here. Herbal. It's kind of like the old one, the one that helps you with if you got little itching going on or anything. It's made with witch hazel and geranium. So it helps you if you've got some issues on the rear end.
Like you?
No, not me. Then they have
issues. All right.
And then the next new one is, there's two more. There's Odor Destroyer, which is new. I hadn't seen the Odor Destroyer before.
I am buying you those mothers.
It doesn't have a whole lot of information about that one.
Doesn't need information. The title says it all. Odor Destroyers.
And then they have one called Shea Butter. So it says shea butter and coconut scented. Ooh, that might be nice for the summertime.
So out of those, after we get through the holiday season with our dingle bells, we'll continue to switch between Dumpkin Spice and dingle bells until we use them all up because it is a seasonal thing. Spring, yeah. What are we thinking in the spring here, Lurch?
Okay,
this is huge in my life.
I think we need to try that. We've tried the one that helps keep the itching down, but they've got the one called the Shea Butter Smooth, which is a shea butter, coconut, and almond scent.
Oh,
so it'll help your butt smell like nuts.
Yeah, dude. Makes you want to lick my ass.
That sounds like a good summer one. I think the wives would appreciate if you smelled like cocoa nuts.
I don't think my wife appreciates my love for dude wipes. When I walk in the house excited, when the package comes and I open them up, I'm like, look, honey, it's Dingle Bell. She's like, that is the stupidest thing that I've ever seen in my life. That's ridiculous. She goes, does it really matter? I go, yes, it does.
Oh, it may not matter a whole lot, but it makes me feel better.
I grabbed her by the back of the hair and made her sniff my ass. I go, what do you think now?
Well, being that
I did not do that. We did not have a DV, people.
No.
Okay.
Being that we have tried the herbal relief before, it was different. It was named something different before, but I think we got to try the shea butter, and then we got to try Odor Destroyer. I mean, right? I mean, you got to. We do.
If there's one thing, I don't think Odor Destroyer is set up or capable of destroying your odor.
Well, we'll give
I don't think anything is. If we want to give it a test, it is you. It is straight up you, dude.
All it says is long-lasting odor eliminating technology.
Maybe it will minimize your splatter.
Probably not.
Just saying, dude.
Probably not.
lawabidingbiker.com/fresh-butt. That's BUTT. Again, lawabidingbiker.com/fresh-butt. BUTT. Yes, that is a valid link. It puts you through directly to the Amazon page for Dude Wipes, and no additional cost to you. But of course, we do get a small commission if you make a purchase and click through, or click through and make a purchase, I should say. So how do they get to that page? Once they get there, lawabidingbiker.com/fresh-butt, and then they're just on that page.
Yeah, just redirects you to
I know it redirects, but the special flavors.
At the moment,
for fragrances.
At the moment, it's the first one that comes up.
Oh, okay.
It's called the overall pick. You know how Amazon puts that up at the top. Overall pick, and it's a 6-pack, and then you can see that you've got different choices once you click into that.
Yep.
Yeah, because I just searched shea butter to see if you can buy them, in smaller amounts, and I don't see that. It looks like it's just in that 6-pack option with some different flavors.
And don't forget your nutsack.
Scents. Sorry.
Oh, don't forget your nutsack, Lurch, while you're at it.
Oh, yeah. You always wipe that first, then go to the back.
Yep. And you can also add some extra something with lawabidingbiker.com/fresh-balls.
Oh, that's right.
To keep your balls moisture-free and smelling good and feeling good and who doesn't like velvety feeling balls in a nutsack? All right. This is ridiculous.
I think that's enough. If you're still listening, thank you. We'll get a podcast going here anytime.
We will. All right, guys. But we do promote those because we do actually, like, it's legit. Like, we use them. We found them. We don't know the company. We don't know. I think Amazon owns them. But
they do now.
I would like to sell them direct, but we haven't looked into that because we do move them, and we appreciate all your guys' support. You should be surprised how many people use that link.
Yeah, I mean, I see them at Safeway.
Oh, they are now. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did. Guess I did. Yeah.
Not a whole bunch of them different, but they do have some.
Right.
So I wonder if you can be a distributor. I'll have to look into it.
I've been meaning to, because we sell enough of them. It would be way better margins if we just sold them direct than getting our little tiny commission. Yeah. So, there you go. Let's, what do we got here? Yay, I
got mail.
Why don't you do this, bro?
This email is about our fuel pump replacement video. The gentleman that sent this video also gave a substantial donation in his thanks, so that is much appreciated. And here's what it's from Jake Pierce of Casa Grande, Arizona. Here's what Jake had to say. Ryan, I'm 77 and have done a fair bit of wrenching in my day, but it's been a long time since doing anything this involved. I had fuel system issues and found your video. Notwithstanding my anxiety, I was able to change out my fuel pump, filter, and fuel pressure sensor. Please accept my donation for the immense help you were to me. Thank you so much. Again, Jake Pierce of Casa Grande, Arizona.
That just means the world to me because we put that video out. We are putting out a lot of evergreen, like we just did our very detailed rear wheel bearing video, and the front wheel will be coming out soon. Anyways, with that said, those are literally videos. We don't get anything back on those videos. I don't even think that had any promotions in it. Maybe a Lyft promotion. You know, we throw in things we sell in the store. We got to monetize this thing, guys, to keep doing this. But we're just doing like evergreen, very detailed, helpful mechanical videos like that, still going 14 years. Yeah, we got a lot of other stuff mixed in between, but that's just what makes the business go around. But those make me feel really good because I'm very proud of those videos because we try to do it better than everybody else in the space as far as when it comes to very detailed tutorial videos without skipping any steps. So thank you very much. I love that feedback. It makes it worth it while I'm editing another one. Jake Pierce, he went to lawabidingbiker.com/contact, and right there, leave a voicemail from your phone, free computer microphone, or you can type a message as he did, again, all over at lawabidingbiker.com/contact. We love the feedback. We love to hear from the biker community. All right. Things that...
the look on your face just made me laugh. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but
it happens to me a lot.
Yeah, sorry.
So, guys, here's the deal. Drives me batty. Drives me batty, Lurch.
What?
Pisses me off. It actually doesn't piss me off as much as I just shake my head. And you out there, you know who you are. Don't deny it. And I'm not trying to make fun of you. I'm just asking you to reconsider your life, reconsider what you're doing with yourself and why you're doing what you're doing.
Okay.
Can't stand it, dude. Chin talkers.
Chin talkers.
You know what I'm talking about?
Chin talkers. People that put their chin up in the air when they're talking to you, or they hold the phone down at their chin.
Oh,
instead of like putting up to their ear.
Oh my!
I'm guessing they're on speakerphone.
Why would you do that?
Because it's so hard to hold your phone to your ear.
Oh yeah, it's so hard. It's better to hold it under your chin like like you're gonna eat it, dude. I can't. Okay, here's the deal.
Are they on speakerphone when they're doing this?
Well, I'm going to explain to you that it doesn't matter. If they are on speakerphone, then they're double dumb.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the worst.
They're double dumb.
Uh-huh.
Now, this is all in good fun, people. So if you are a chin talker and you're out there going,
dumb.
I chin talk because I have very specific reasons. Well, I'm going to change your mind. That's what I'm here for.
Okay.
With fact-based evidence, because I know about tech and I also know the laws. So here's the deal. I don't, and you guys know what I'm talking about. There's a couple different chin talkers. The funny thing is people do it walking around too, which I don't understand either. But they hold it with like their thumb and 3 fingers, and they hold it up just like this, very delicately, and it's literally touching their chin. Their bottom lip is hitting it. Okay. This is not good conversation. Okay. And then the other people are the ones that just kind of hold it flat like a candy bar in their hand and hold it up their chin. Okay. Here's the deal. I just want you to consider, number one, it kind of looks dumb. Okay. That's just me. Now, if you're doing that, please don't be mad at me. Okay. I'm not saying you're dumb. I'm just saying it looks dumb. Okay.
That's like when my wife says, you're acting like an asshole. And I go, hey, don't call me an asshole. And she says, I didn't call you an asshole. I said,
true.
You're
She's
acting
got a point.
like an asshole.
She's got a
so
good
what
point.
Ryan's saying is you're not dumb. You just look dumb.
Exactly. And here's why. Because as a tech person, what you're doing is, if you've ever listened to that conversation on the other side of the phone, it sounds like shit. And the reason is when you're on speakerphone, it's amplified and it's made to be like set on your center console or something like that. So you can be on
like
speaker.
an arm's length away or so,
Right. Yeah.
3
Yeah.
feet away from you.
Exactly. It's not meant. It accounts that it's on speakerphone.
That's kind of like people that talk right into their watch, their Apple Watch. They take it right up to their face and talk into it.
Yes.
Like, good God, that sounds like shit.
Instead of putting it just over their chest.
Yeah.
Or you can even hold it up here. But you don't got to be James Bond and talk right into the son
You
of a
don't
bitch.
have to go right into the microphone.
Dude, and that's what it sounds like. You know when somebody's doing it. So number one, if you're on speaker, like Lurch says, get it an arm's length away, and it's safer. You can just put it in a biker gripper. That's what we do in my Ford F-150. I'm in my car like today. It's foggy, it's rainy, it's freezing. I've got a vent mount. We've got vent mounts for the biker gripper head. We've got a dash mount. Just leave it in the mount and they will hear you better than being up to your mouth, and it will be clearer and you won't look so dumb. Okay. Now, same when you're walking around. All right. And so this is other people's take on it that may be an argument. And I've heard this because I do stop people for this, because Washington State is a hands-free state. I'm not sure how many states aren't now. There's different variations, but not even when you're stopped in an intersection here. You cannot touch and use your phone. It needs to be Bluetooth, use Siri, things like that. All right. So a lot of people think for whatever reason, and I get it, they're probably just not completely educated on the law. So I'm giving some room there, but they will drive down the road holding up to their chin, driving down the road. And a conversation that happens is, for whatever reason, they think that's not a violation, but holding it to your ear is. What sense would that possibly make in any law? Like, it's any safer to hold it at your chin and not your ear. And I don't know where that came from. And I can't, even if you don't know the law, that can't make any sense to you, because you're either have it in your hand and you're using it or you're not. I don't care if you hold it to your nostril. It doesn't matter.
It might have been the way that I think the law was originally written.
Right.
There was, I think, a little loophole, and they closed that loophole. But yeah, I think that's where that developed from.
People feel like, okay, I'm not using my, I'm not
holding
distracted.
it to my ear.
I'm not distracted at all because it's not at my ear.
If I have it down, I can turn my head.
Right. Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know. Strange.
It is strange. But anyways, it's all in good fun, guys. But so I see that. I'm like, number one, you're still breaking the law. Number two, you sound like shit to whoever's on the other end of that line. So hook it up to your Bluetooth, or if you have that, or just throw it down. Use a biker gripper. That's what I would say. So, but every time I see a chin talker, it actually doesn't piss me off. I just have to chuckle and wonder what's going through the mind there. And for you speakerphone users in public, walking around like that, and I can hear the conversation, stop immediately. I think that probably drives you nuts too, Lurch, especially in a coffee shop when they're like on FaceTime and you can hear the whole FaceTime conversation. Annoying. What are you doing? Like, get it.
Nobody else cares about your conversation.
God. Oh, somebody
get some AirPods.
Yeah. Go outside. Yeah. If I'm going to have a FaceTime with my family or daughter, I just step away, have some frickin' courtesy. Pisses me off, Lurch. Pisses me off. There, I feel better.
Do you?
I do.
Good.
I feel much better. You want to ride longer, Lurch?
You know I do.
Are you tired of a sore and achy ass?
Yeah.
Then quit hanging out and getting drunk and hanging out in the dark alleys in San Francisco late at night.
Things happen, man. Things happen.
Fix it. That's not the problem here, though. Fix it with a high-quality butt buffer seat cushion. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store and check out our full line of butt buffer seat cushions. Absolutely do not leave home without it. What do you got, Lurch?
What do I have? Well, what I have is, I want to remind folks, if you haven't been listening, that we have a new function on the Law Abiding Biker store. We have the back in stock notification app. If you go to a product and it shows that it's out of stock, on the right side screen, you'll see a big red button that says notify me when back in stock. Click that bad boy, put in your email and or phone number, and you'll get notified as soon as we put that back in stock. That's been something that people have been asking for, and we finally got around to doing it. We made it happen, guys, through some website stuff and fees. Yeah, of course. We tried one that was available through the Shopify app or store, which is who hosts our store. Wasn't what we wanted, so we had to contact a what do you call those people? web
Devs.
designers, web developers. Thank you. And they were able to get us something that worked the way we wanted it to. So again, something's out of stock. Just mark that thing, or click that button, fill in your information, and you'll get a notification when it's back in stock. So you can beat everybody else that didn't take the time to click that button.
Mm-hmm. What Lurch is saying is you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
So we tried the free.
We did try the free.
But we always got to try the free. Hey, you got to try it.
You got to try it. Freemium is what I learned a new word from you. Freemium.
Yep.
It's free, but if you want the premium stuff, you got to pay. So freemium. I like that.
The app kind of works, but then you pay. So it's freemium. It's not really free.
Love it. This is what this episode's about, so we're not going to dive deeply into it, other than just to mention that we have added Gerbing heated gear and Firstgear heated gear to our store, both 12 volt for and battery for Gerbing and 12 volt for the Firstgear.
Oh, and we got a lot to talk about, so just hold that thought on heated gear. We've got your ultimate guide coming up. Hey, Bikeaholics, Zero 3D has a wide variety of innovative products for your Harley-Davidson and a brand new line for the all-new Honda Goldwing.
I like gold.
Named Gold Strike. Top quality, affordable chrome lighting and comfort products. Zero Gold Strike are the motorcycle LED lighting innovators for CAN bus plug-and-play system compatibility. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store and check out our full line of Zero 3D products. Here we are, guys. In the studio, ready to rip it up. Welcome back, you freaking Bikeaholics. You know it, the podcast for the motorcycle majority, the Big MM, also known as the
99%.
That's right. We are large and in charge of the motorcycle scene. Organize it more than any time in history. By being here, by listening, you're part of what we call the hashtag
Biker Revolution.
Lurch has one question for you before we get started. What are you waiting for, Bikeaholics?
Mount up and let us take you on another wild-ass ride.
There you go. Ryan Urlacher here, your host of the Law Abiding Biker podcast, and of course, your
high-tech redneck.
So that's it, guys. We have an episode coming at you. It's going to be a lot of information. We just shot a video yesterday. It took us way longer, like usual, because we were actually going to do the video and then do this podcast right after. But late in the day, we're like, okay, podcast tomorrow instead. Luckily, we're able to do that. And so we sit here this morning, the day after shooting that vid. Now, boy, I don't know when exactly this is coming out. The video may or may not be out. I'm not sure on that timeline.
This one will be out in January.
Okay, well, I think I got to get that edited up. I think you wanted to push this out because it's winter ahead of the battery tender one and stuff.
Oh, you want to go ahead of all that?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
It will be out on the 20th-ish then.
Of December?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I was planning on editing that today and into next week to get it ready because it seems like it's time sensitive because battery tenders are too, but we'll push that after. So anyways, by the time you hear this, if you're a regular listener now, our patron members, our beloved patron members, get this uploaded to their accounts within days of recording. So they will hear this long before, or well before the video comes out. But if you're just regular, listener and not a member or anything like that, well, you'll get it later in January sometime, but the video will have already dropped. And, but anyways, it's going to be a very comprehensive look at heated gear because I have a ton of years of experience as a daily police motorcycle officer riding through winter, dependent on road conditions, and also long distance touring, adventure riding in the cold and dirt. And I have tested an assload of gear, everything from very cheap to very expensive. A lot of different brands. I know some of the behind the scenes too of some of this cheap ass gear. We will talk about that you're finding just spread like wildfire all over Amazon. Everything from being sourced and labeled. But we'll get into that. So a lot of gear has failed me. A lot of different tech, a lot of different batteries, a lot of things to consider here. And Lurch has also tested different branded heated gear over time, both in a motorcycle and hunting environment. And so he brings a lot to the table here too. So it's going to be a good discussion. And before you buy heated gear, it is an investment. Make sure you listen to the entire episode. If you want to see visuals and a little more succinct, although very detailed video, It will be, again, it will pop on the YouTube channel or at any time. This is all stuff that we're going to talk about as far as the gear, the two main brands, and we'll get into that. It is available in the Law Abiding Biker store. Links will be in the show notes. Just go to your podcast app and look for show notes in the link and or the website, or just go over to the Law Abiding Biker store direct and type in heated gear and or Gerbing or Firstgear heated gear, and you will come up with that gear. And when the video pops, it will be embedded below every single one, even accessories. It will be on every single heated gear item in our store. That video, it's a very, very good visual guide, very informative. Even goes in how to, pair wireless controllers, and it's a catch-all video, for lack of better term. So we're very excited. This has been 4 years in the making, because every year, and I've saved heated gear. I've saved all my old stuff that died and the old batteries and stuff I like and stuff I don't like in plastic bags. And I've almost thrown it away several years while I'm like, I'm going to do a video. And we were finally to the point where we can add nice quality heated gear to the Law Abiding Biker store. And I said, thank God I saved all that, because in the video I can show it, and I can also talk about it here on this episode of the podcast. So now, we're always coming out with a ton of new free videos, and this one's been out quite a while. Are both these? Oh, these are for. This is some of our. These are both. This is our for purchase. So you go ahead, Lurch, and talk about this.
Yep. Generally speaking, we announce the free videos, but we wanted to announce these because these are really cool and people love them a lot. These are a couple of for purchase videos. It's a 2-part documentary series, and it's about our trip down to Death Valley. Speaking of heated gear, someone who will not be named, myself actually, did not put his heated gear in his bike because I thought, well, shit, we're going to Death Valley. Do I really need heated gear? Well, you do when you're going over a mountain pass in Northern California. Anywho, you can 2-part. The first one's lawabidingbiker.com/death-valley, and the second one is /California-dreams. Or you can click on the show notes to find them. Or you can go onto our website and click through the tabs on the documentary and get to them as well.
Yep. Or head over anytime to see any of my documentary films, both for purchase and then the large amount of free ones that are out. lawabidingbiker.com/ride-now. That's /ride-now. And I also have any new documentaries that I'm working on, pending information up there. So that's kind of the page where everything lives. But yeah, that we usually do the documentary films and then sell them for about a year, and then they come out for free eventually. But we appreciate everybody, and go look at the reviews over there on when you head over to any of the links and you get over to Gumroad, which is how we deliver those videos to you. You can watch those. Now, if you're a top tier patron or above, those documentaries, the minute they were done, even before they went up for purchase in Gumroad, they are uploaded to the back end of your patron account, and they are locked so nobody else can see them, only you, because you are a top tier patron member, which is another benefit of many benefits for being a patron member. So you can simply go over to your patron account, and any locked posts, they'll all be unlocked for you. And it has good searchability. So just search Death Valley or California Dreams, either of those, and you'll get part 1 and part 2, and you can watch it right there. And I also provide in the description of those videos, you can watch it. It's still great quality via YouTube, or I actually upload it directly to Patreon platform. So it's not quite as good, but still it's like any YouTube video. Basically, it looks as good as any YouTube video. But I also provide a link where you can actually download the actual files in high quality if you want to take the time to download the actual videos and then watch them that way. They are, of course, it's not as compressed, because whenever you're uploading video to a platform like that, it's compressing it for size, and these are the full files. So again, that's all just benefits that I provide, we provide for our top tier patron members. But certainly they're reasonably priced. for the amount of work I put into those, and guys just love them. And again, the reviews over there, I appreciate. Drop a review if you do buy it over there. The reviews I get on it are amazing, and it inspires me. And I'm currently working in edit. I started just a couple weeks ago on a brand new part 1. It's going to be a kind of a docu-series. I'm not sure how many there'll be in the series yet, but there will be one for sure for now. And it's about our East Coast trip. But there's some things in between that are really cool. And so part 1's going to be awesome. And I'm in the midst of doing that. And at some point, I will let you all know when that is released. Now, talking about patron members, we just want to thank some of our newest patron members here, because they are a reason we are coming to you still after going on 14 freaking years.
We'd like to thank Derek Galen of Regina.
What'd you say?
Regina? I think it's Regina, isn't it?
It is.
Regina, Canada. He's top tier. Scott Bendel of Garden City, Idaho, and Jeff Sarsley, that is, of Codis, Indiana.
Lurch told me he loves the smell of Regina. All right, guys. lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon. Patreon. That's right. Sign up for a monthly subscription, and you choose the level of benefits that you would like to receive. And there are a lot of those benefits, such as t-shirts and stickers. You get access to the private Facebook group, a troll-free zone, nothing but bikers, helping and connecting with other bikers in there. You get your store coupon discount code year-round, access to live video broadcasts and chat podcasts early, access to premium videos, and of course, access to those ride meetup and events. Not only the yearly ride meetup and event that we're doing, which is coming up in Canada, that's Canada, this year in July. We also have a lot of events that are organized by the patron members themselves within the group, and they are going on all over the place. And this thing just keeps freaking growing. And I can't thank those newest patron members enough for actually taking action and doing something about it and joining this thing we call the Biker Revolution. We just want so many more people involved. We have so many right now, but the more, the merrier. And we want to just keep building this thing out. And speaking of, we didn't put it in the show notes, but we should advise of the dates again while Lurch is looking that up. So here's the deal. We don't know exactly what day the patron meetup and ride event is going to be in Canada in 2025, because come January, we already have a date set. Popeye's coming, Cowboy's coming, Lurch will be here, I'll be here. We're the usual 4, and we will pound out a 14-hour, 15-hour day, and we're going to plan the entire ride, what days, what routes, what we're doing. Within that, we will determine exactly which day and where that patron meetup is going to be. But the general dates that will be up there, so you have an idea of when that will fall in, are
July 14th through the 24th is our trip. So somewhere in there will be the Patreon meetup.
There you go. 2025 Canada. It's going to be huge. It is going to be huge. It's going to be great. It's going to be talked about for years. You're going to love it.
They're still talking about the last
They're
one.
still going to, they are talking about the last one. They're going to talk about this one even more. All right, guys. So become a patron member soon, because often the requirement is you have to be a patron member for like 3 months, active patron member, before you can get access to those. So just get signed up. 2025, make it your New Year's resolution, and you'll have access to that and so much more. But in January, shortly after we plan this trip, we will get the information out. All right, attention. Attention, Canada members, patron members. We are looking for help. Usually wherever we go, and last time we were up in Canada was 2017, and we had amazing help up there. What a wonderful ride and meetup. So we're calling out again. If you're up in the Canada area now, we don't know exactly where the meetup's going to be, but I'll tell you this, dependent on the level of participation, and if somebody wants or a couple people want to help us out and say, hey, I've got some ideas. I can help here. We can get a ride. We may alter our route. Maybe. We're just not sure. It'll depend. So we need to have those talks. And if it is something, hit us up ASAP over at lawabidingbiker.com/contact. Obviously, you're a patron member. You can also just DM us right in the Patreon app, and we'll get back to you, and we'll kind of start those talks. It'd be nice to know a little bit before we plan, just so we can kind of determine, okay, we've got patrons here who are willing to help and patrons here, and how are we going to steer this trip and what are our options? So again, hit us up, and we would love to have some help. In the U.S., obviously we love help, but it's even more difficult because we're going to Canada. So, we will, sport, costs and things like that, but we just need help with planning and securing locations. You guys have heard it in the past. We really rely on you, and we also want you involved because it makes it special when all the members come up to somebody where it's their home state or their home country, and they can say, hey, this is where I live. This is where I want to take you. It makes everything a lot more special, in my opinion. Anything else on that, Lurch?
No, sir. You hit it perfectly.
Okay. Whew. With that said, we should start the main topic. Okay. So we're going to rip through this, and a lot of information coming at you. Let me just start here, Lurch, and then you can kind of pick it up where you want or jump in where you want. Like I said, I've tested this gear over many, many years, and some has failed, some is good, some is bad. And I will tell you that I'm going to talk about all that gear, but two brands, especially one, is coming out on top. All right. But I'm just going to tell you up front, and you'll understand why as I go. No, I'm not sponsored by Gerbing. I don't know Gerbing. We say that because we get some keyboard warriors on YouTube, the abyss of YouTube, that, of course you're going to say that they're paying you. I wish Gerbing paid me. If you can work that out, please, I would love to receive monthly paychecks, and the amounts of $10,000 or more would be great. No, I don't. I just literally am a biker, guys. I would tell you if Gerbing was sponsoring me. I have other sponsors. I tell you who they are. These products that I give you or promote are things that I've tried, tested, believe in, and I know that they're quality. I don't like to bring junk to the Law Abiding Biker store. We're not going to bring every brand of heated gear to the Law Abiding Biker store because I can't get behind it. We're not, at this point, you're a huge conglomerate that just carries everything. We're just going to put everything. We don't even know if it works, but we're going to put it because we have access to it. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's your Revzillas, your JMP cycles. They're going to carry everything. And that's a great business model. I can't, we're just not there, and we're not that big. And at this point, I like to bring a couple options that I really believe in, so that, when you come, you don't have to do as much searching your guy. This is vetted by the guys. This is vetted. They obviously believe in it. They brought it to the store. That's kind of how we're operating for now in the foreseeable future. So it's going to be Gerbing on top for sure. And then right next to it, we're going to sell Firstgear. I want to say this up front. I don't think we said it in the video. We forgot. And that is Gerbing has battery and plug-in options. Firstgear is just a plug-in option. So, but you'll see why I think Gerbing, although you would be happy with both. I'm just telling you, I've used both extensively. We're not minimizing Firstgear. But Gerbing definitely just has a few more things, and price-wise for their plug-in stuff, it's really the same price point. So you decide, but obviously sometimes Gerbing might be out of stock or Firstgear might be out of stock. So we wanted to have redundancy there and something available for you all at all times if we can help it. So, and that's just to get it started. No, not all heated gear is created equal, as I have learned and Lurch has learned over the years. So we're going to go over the gear that I've used, some of the issues and things to consider, and why one brand, like I say, Gerbing, stands out above the others. And I'm going to reveal the actual heated gear items that I'm currently using right now. All right, so let's first, Lurch, I guess, dive in. And again, just interrupt me. If, you can do that. All right, let's first talk about my experiences with the cheaper heated gear that I've tested. All right, so you're going to see this everywhere online, guys. And that is this mobile warming gear. All right, it is splattered all over Amazon, splattered all over eBay. Let me just tell you about this gear. All right. I tested a lot over the years in the past. Let me give you the background. I know some of you may have mobile warming gear, and I want to say some people will say this. I get it, because you didn't maybe have access to information. It's a lot cheaper. You haven't thoroughly tested it. I get it. That's the normal, and it's everywhere. It's on the racks. You see it. Oh, use it for hunting. Use it for skiing. Use it for. It is the bottom line entry level heated gear. It will go out on you. It will fail you. It is not made as well, both in the electrical components and the stitching. Let me tell you, it comes from Alibaba. All right. So basically what happens, and then you're going to see online on Amazon, just like they do with a lot of stuff, Poyote.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Dubu, KTSSL, Wolsia, PTAHDUS. I mean, these words don't even make sense.
No. And so
go ahead.
And so what they're doing is all those names there is they're all getting the same exact heated gear from Alibaba. They're sourcing it. They're shipping big orders, and then they're selling it on Amazon, and they're just naming it whatever their company is. You'll literally see the same exact jacket, and you'll see that sometimes they leave the same exact logo. We found a jacket, and it is mobile warming, but one is Field Shearer named it, and then the other one, the same exact jacket with the same mobile warming in the bottom left, is mobile warming. And every brand in between is trying to source this stuff and sell it to you. It is cheap. It is bottom line. I do hear, or I will hear, some guys say, well, and Lurch can attest to this because I want him to answer this. They will say, Lurch didn't say this, but he will be able to back this. They will say, well, I've had mobile warming gear for 3 years and it works fine. My next question is, did you use it daily? And so tell me, how often did you use your mobile warming gear when you used it? Hunting once a year?
I used it on my motorcycle, but
which is not
hunting,
that much.
But I didn't. Yeah,
because you don't ride in the winter much.
No, and it's not like you being a motors officer and
right.
You ride up until you can't ride anymore.
Right.
So for me, it's the first jacket I got was a mobile warming gear jacket and gloves, actually, all battery powered. What drew me to that was the battery powered. I could use hunting. I can, if I'm sitting at a football game or something, watching my nephew play, I could wear it. So it's enticing because it has that versatility. But no, I don't. It's still, I've had it for 3-4 years. It still works. I'll tell you, it doesn't work as well. It doesn't get as hot or as hot as quick. I've had a couple of the batteries take a shit on me. I had to buy new batteries. So
yeah.
I see. Well, that's why I was attracted to it, and I can see why other people would be attracted to it as well. I've since moved to a plug-in jack, and we'll talk about
a good brand.
A good brand as we move along. I'll talk about that. But yeah, the mobile warming gear. I bought it through the warming store. That's the first one that comes up. Before I knew much about owning a store and getting products, I thought mobile warming gear was a really good brand. Turns out, like you said, it just gets white labeled and it's all over Amazon, different names and whatnot. And it's significantly cheaper, and it's cheaper for a reason. The material's not as nice. The batteries, the chargers, the wiring in the jacket, the stitching, it's just not all as nice. If what you can afford, totally understand. But we want to give you some of our experience, and maybe we'll lead you into a different decision. Maybe invest a little bit more to have a better product that works better.
Yep. Good call. If you buy good heated gear, like we're going to tell you, it's an investment, and it's not that crazy, like thousands of dollars, or anything more like that. So, I would invest. If you're going to get heated gear, save up, or you can use, even in the store, we have payment options, where you can buy it now, and you can spread it out over 4 equal monthly payments or longer. And there's no charge if you just do it over 4 payments. So there's options to just get good gear, because you will appreciate it. It will work well. It will warm you better. It will not die on you. Because this mobile warming gear, I'm just telling you, I have multiple officers that have tried different gear, cheap gear back in the day. not that many years ago. And even I should say, not that long ago. So I had one of my pieces was like I just want to call it like a halter top.
It's like a vest, but it
went down to only the mid stomach.
Like a short vest.
Yeah. It went down just below my nips, and it just covered the very top portion. It was really thin, and it was from mobile warming. And the reason I selected it, I would have rather had Gerbing or something, but they didn't offer anything like this at the time. And so it was really thin, and it just the very back of the shoulders and upper, nips to keep my nips warm. Because I don't want those, when it gets cold, they go in full mast. And I don't want that. I don't want to be nipping out. But it just did my core. And the reason I did that thin thing is because, I work riding daily in cold weather on a police motorcycle. I had to put my Kevlar vest over that. Now you cannot have something bulky. I've already got shirt on and vest and outer vest and all this, plus the uniform. You just feel like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man after a while. So that's why I had that. And it had a little button on it that you can push that changes colors depending on the heat. And I went through, over a period of 3 years, I went through 3 of them. They lasted about a season. And that's not even every day, because once it snows on the road, of course we're not riding. So that's not every day in winter. And I just knew that they're throwaway and that I'm going to get it. It's going to be cheap. I'm going to throw it away and I'm going to order another one. I think the other 2 I ordered 2. So I had one on hand, but they don't even make those anymore.
No, they've got a newer version. They've got a lightweight heated vest that is just a thin material.
Yeah.
But it goes all the way down to your waist. It's different.
Yeah, which I didn't really want a jacket, and I saw that, so I couldn't get it anymore. Let me tell you about this too. So it comes with a lot of this mobile warming gear comes with these sketchy lithium-ion batteries. And if you've ever seen FPV drones, real guys that build them, and they're like plastic wrapped batteries with a little outlet, that's what what they look like.
For an RC car or something like that too. Yeah. It's basically 4 batteries just heat shrink together with the wire hanging out of it.
And they look sketchy, and I knew that when I got them. And there was 2 pockets up just above my nips in that little top, and they went in there, and you had to plug them in. It was clunky. The wires clearly were so thin, you knew they were going to short out. So I always tried to not bend them and stuff. Mm-hmm. And this is just what you're going to find. This is just the cheap. They just want to get it out the door in your hands. It's straight from Alibaba, mobile warming. And so I used it, and I used it for a few years, and then they stopped making it. And now for my personal bike, I had better heated gear than I did not use mobile warming for that. This was just on duty, a lot of it. So I had another officer try some, I think 1 or 2 different shirts that were obviously mobile warming, but white labeled, dirt cheap on Amazon. I think one didn't even last him a full season. The wires just went bad because they get shorted out, and the other one didn't last either. And I believe the last time I talked to him, my memory serves me, he's looking to upgrade to actual quality stuff, which we are carrying in the store now. So now mobile warming does also make a little bit upgraded, like the stuff Lurch had. Those batteries, they're not the sketchy plastic wrap like Lurch says batteries, but they're definitely. He had multiple shit the bed on him.
Yeah, they're a hard shelled battery, similar to what you would find in Gerbing. Plug in to charge. It has a on-off button on the front with different levels, 25, 50, 75, 100, so you can adjust and see what you're doing. So it is a better battery than that entry-level one that was with that halter top you're talking about. Still, I've had a couple of them go bad.
Yep. And they dose, when you hold those batteries up, and that's one of the things about like a lot of the mobile warming gear, especially the cheapest of the cheap mobile warming gear, is those batteries. They don't have any lights on them, so you don't even know if they're charged. And then while I'm talking about that, I want to talk about the cheap ass chargers that come with mobile warming gear. They are cheap. You'll know it when you feel them in your hand. Half the time, I literally probably went through 6 or 7 chargers, because what would happen is the lights would stop working on the charger. At least there was like a green and a red. And then sometimes they would flash, and then sometimes they wouldn't flash. I never knew if my shit was being charged. And then the lights just wouldn't work. And then I didn't know, because you can't take the batteries and then push a button to see if they're working. There was days I went out and I had no power in the vest. So I would throw the chargers away, and I would just buy new cheap ass chargers. I was so worried about these batteries that I wouldn't charge them overnight. I would get up in the morning and try to plug them in. I probably was a little more worried than I should have been. They just look like they're ready to catch on fire. It's just, they look, because I've seen FPV drone guys with battery fire and shit. I'm like, this is not quality shit here. So I was always a little worried. There was some nights where I did it, but I just felt like when I opened, like, shit, my house is going to catch on fire. I don't know. I don't know if that's a valid concern, but it concerned me. I don't like the looks of it. So I was just always fussing and messing with this stuff. And then batteries would go out, just literally stop working. So I didn't know if it was a charge of the battery. So then I'd get new batteries and a new charger, and then things would work for a while. You get it. It's a nightmare. The batteries that Lurch is talking about are a little bit upgraded, but when you feel those batteries, they have the light on them, the button, so you can see and all that. They still definitely feel cheaper than something. They look cheaper. They feel cheaper than something like a Gerbing battery, which there are a couple different models of Gerbing battery, which we're going to talk about. So with that said, it's just kind of sketchy stuff. You guys get it. I think people, hopefully when you buy that, and you get what you pay for, people. Some things that's not true, but it definitely matters from my many years, like you're talking the last 8 years of experience, and even before that with heated gear on my personal bike. So, yeah, hopefully that gives you a background. We're not trying to completely trash mobile warming. It is what it is. But I'm just telling you, I've had very terrible experiences with it. And again, if you said, well, I've had mine for 3 years, well, ask yourself how much you're using it, and if you only use it, pull it out once a year, well, maybe it's worth going really, really cheap like that. You may get more years out of it, but I rely on my heated gear when I am on a long distance 10-day trip and it gets a little chilly. I do not want gear that is going to fail me of any kind, whether that's heated grips, whether that's a heated seat, whether that's my heated gear. So very important. This guy does not ride cold. I want my gear to work. So there you go. When you're looking around at all those different names on Amazon, just be aware of what you're looking at, that it's all the same and that it's not going to last, and you're going to have to buy new components and batteries. Anything else to follow up on that, Lurch?
If it's a brand name that doesn't even make sense, it doesn't even make a word, or it's a brand name that is not, something that's common in the English language, I would steer clear of it.
Yep. It's basically, it's from Alibaba. All right. So, let's move in, to more, quality, Gerbing gear. All right. And also we're going to do some loose comparisons with Firstgear.
Okay.
I have used Firstgear for many years. I ran a Firstgear heated jacket plug-in, for many years, and I'm now running, Gerbing. I'm going to get into the gear that I'm using and that I recommend as we get deeper into this. Now, again, all the links in the description, or in the show notes, I should say, or the video, it'll be in the description of the YouTube video, or just head over to the Law Abiding Biker store. Let's first kind of go with what we did on the video when I have the most detailed notes here. Let's go talk about battery stuff first and kind of go from there. So one of my pieces of gear that I've had for like 5 years is from Gerbing. And I will tell you this too, real quick, on top of what we just talked about mobile warming. I'm lost for words. You'll get it here in a sec. The reason you see mobile warming everywhere is because they don't give a shit who is their dealer. They just want you to move their product. I guarantee, they're not going to back it. You're not going to be able to get a hold of anybody. Not everybody can be a Gerbing dealer. Okay. So brands that care about their product, you have to meet certain requirements and you have to present their product in a certain way. That's industry wide. That's not just heated gear. And so not everybody can just sell Gerbing. So that's why you don't see it in every single store. They are a huge company. I don't know how long they've been around.
1975.
1975. So I don't think mobile warming was even thought of then. Maybe in China at some point it was a company over there. But anyways, so they've been in the game a long, long time. And Lurch mentioned earlier that, gear's multi-purpose. Yes, and I'm going to get into that here in a minute. All this gear is multi-purpose. So the first piece of gear I want to talk about, we'll stick with battery, that I love, 5 years, is my Gerbing Torrid 7-volt vest, heated vest. No sleeves, it's a vest. And I love that thing. It's one of the first battery gears that I got, and I've got like 6 batteries for it. So the thing about it is when you look at it, if you look at it in our store right now, it is a very good looking jacket. It can be obviously worn under a coat or a riding jacket. It can also be a standalone piece, which I see people wear.
I'm thinking about getting one for myself as just a standalone.
Oh, I know where you can get one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. It will look good on you.
Yeah.
They're good looking vests. It has some reflectivity to it. It's got a nice breast pocket. It does not look like a piece of heated gear.
Right.
So
it's stylish.
It is stylish, especially when it's on this handsome man.
Yeah,
as you'll see in the video.
Absolutely.
So it is battery operated. I use it. I've used it on the adventure bike for short ride, the street bike. If I'm just running downtown, throw it on. I've used it while shoveling snow, which gets turned off real quick once you build up a sweat. So, on my way up snowboarding, it can be firearms ranges where I really tested it a lot too, is being out on the range. I was an instructor, and you're out there for 10 hours, many days a month, and even in the winter. And my God, it gets cold out there and windy. And so it's great. Very quality batteries comes with. It's got the lights on the front so you can see when it's charging. You can also push the button and see what level it's charged to. And the battery just goes in the left pocket, and there's a little wire there you plug in. No button on this vest. This one's activated by the battery itself, and you just push the button and hold it. It turns on, same to power it off, and then you can adjust the different levels. And what I found is it lasts about, if it's on high, it's about 2 hours. If it's on 75, then it's about 3 hours. If it's on half, I get about 4 hours at the range out of it. So, and then I just pop another battery.
Yeah, about 5 hours on 25%.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that would make sense.
Yeah,
so
it's about an hour each.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
and that
more or
was,
less.
and I didn't even, did you read that?
Yeah.
Okay. That's funny. Mine was just strict testing. So I guess I did not know that they even had a chart for that. Good information. So mine is, there you go. I'm right with the chart. So it is true. The chart is true. That's what I got out of it. So great looking vest. That's the one that you can wear downtown. I often, lighted Christmas parade, you go take the daughter to, you can throw that thing under your coat. Great solid piece of equipment. You'll note the battery chargers, not only the battery chargers on the Gerbing, next level compared to mobile warming. You can feel the quality. You can also feel, a very distinct protruding LED light, status for charging, flashing red or solid red. When it's charged, it's green, plus the batteries are indicating for you. And those batteries, I still have from 5 years ago. They're so scratched up because somehow I left them in my saddlebag. They were jostling around and rubbing in my adventure bike, and they're all scratched up.
Mine all look like that too because I charge them all up and throw them in a Ziploc bag and throw them in the saddlebag, and they just roll. And
so they start rubbing the finish off.
Yeah, rubbing against each other.
So that's an indication that those are my original batteries, guys, from 5 years ago. So there you go. Again, going to last you, heats up quick. All right, moving on. Anything on that Lurch vest that you want to talk about? Okay.
We'll get in. We'll finally. I think.
Why don't you just talk about it? Sizing. You're going to go.
Sizing.
It's funny how I know.
Oh, absolutely. So sizing on the vest. If you're going to wear it as a base layer or underneath a jacket, you're going to want it to be tight to your skin. So you normally wear a large, and you got a medium jacket, and while it's snug on you, it's not like super tight, right? I mean, it's not uncomfortably tight.
Right.
So if you're wearing it underneath the jacket, it's going to be a base layer for you, not on the outside. We would recommend that you consider going down a size. If you're going to wear it, like I'm planning on wearing mine, just outerwear for casual use, then you might want to go with your normal size.
And I would push back on that a little bit. I would say make a decision. It depends on your body. The problem is, even if you wear that as a standalone garment and it is not up against your skin, it is going to completely dissipate the heat. If it's not tight to your skin and there's loose and baggy in there, it's not going to do its effective job. Again, that's going to depend on your chest size. I would just say maybe size down. Even though I wear mine standalone sometimes, it's sized down. It is just a little bit tight, but it still looks fine. So I just don't want people to think, oh, just get your regular size. Because if it's really loose on you, then you get it, guys.
Yeah, there's
it has to be against
for
you.
The items as well.
Yes, but those sizing charts are your regular size, if I remember right, which is why I sized down to a minimum medium, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that might be, look at the sizing chart and Lurch is partially right. I think a large would be fine for him and he would still be up against his skin. I just don't want to make it seem like that's a catch-all. So good discussion on that. So, but definitely if you're going to be wearing it underneath, like some of the things we're going to talk to you, it's never going to be exposed, then definitely go smaller. You want it sucked up against your skin. While we're talking about that, all the gear, heated gear, pro tip, you can't wear like long thermal underwear and then put your heated over it. It's going to completely not put the heat in your body. So you want this up against your skin.
Yep.
So
thin base layer.
Yep. Thin base layer. So something like a t-shirt is what I wear most of the time. Or on my dirt bike, if I'm going to be sweating, because it is winter, I still will sweat. I'll wear moisture wicking. We carry it in the store. I love it. It's Alpine Stars moisture wicking base layer gear. And that heat goes right through that. And I do sweat. And once I get working, I'll turn it off and sweat. But wear the thin t-shirt at minimum. Don't wear something thick. You're going to completely take away. You want that heat into your body, into your core, on all of this gear. So moving on, unless there's anything else on that, Lurch.
Just about battery versus plug-in a little bit too. It just depends on how often you're going to wear this gear and what you're going to use it for. These battery-powered vests, jackets are very capable of keeping you warm while riding and give you flexibility to use in other ways. The downside is you have batteries that you got to charge, so you got to take several batteries with you. That's taking up valuable space in your saddlebag. You've got to keep them charged. You might blow through 2, 3, 4 batteries if it's really cold on a long, trip, day, for the day, and then have to charge them again. I went with a battery powered because it was more versatile. I have plug-in now. Because I just leave it in my bike. It's in my saddlebag all the time. I plug it in. It's warm. So I understand if you're trying to use it for other things. I'll just tell you my experience. I still have the battery powered and it's nice, but that 12-volt plug-in never leaves my bike, and shouldn't leave my bike, although I took it out for
it did.
One trip. Yeah, when we went to Death Valley, I didn't think I needed it. I'm not the smartest guy all the time, but I learn from my mistakes, so
That's all that counts.
It'll never leave again. But just consider that. It takes up less room and it works. You just plug it right in and go.
Yep.
The 12-volt plug-in.
And remember, going down the road, you're riding in a group. You got your big, heavy winter jacket on for riding, and your vest is underneath, and your battery goes dead. You're going to tell your whole group, hey, we got to pull over because I need to switch a battery. Or you're going to try to unzip your coat while you're riding, reach down, find your pocket, find your new battery. It might not be safe. It's a hassle. I would say that's why I have multiple gear. I have battery gear and I have plug-in gear.
Which is ideal, but if you can't afford it, battery will work.
Exactly.
Just listen to what we're saying based on our experience, that if you can afford it, or you're not going to really use the battery that often other than riding, you may want to consider plug-in.
Yep. Good. And that's exactly what this episode's about, guys, is just giving you information on experience and then giving you options, and then you can go, okay, I think I know what I need. So yeah, just some drawbacks to batteries, but great, for a morning adventure ride, because I know I'm going to be turning it off because I'm going to work up sweet, but it gets the chill off in the morning. So let's talk about, so that's one of my favorite pieces of Gerbing gear that I've had for many years. I'm going to move on to my second piece of Gerbing gear, and that is my favorite piece of Gerbing gear for a lot of reasons. They're all great, but this, I just like it because it was newer and I've got so much functionality out of it. And that is my Gerbing heated shirt. That is what it is, guys.
Battery powered.
And it is literally a shirt, long sleeve. It is very good looking. The stitching is amazing. The quality of it is amazing. So versatile. Has a very small battery pocket. These batteries, Gerbing batteries, are a little bit different. They don't have a button on them, but you can still see when they're charging. They have 4 lights built in, LED lights. And you can see when it's on, and I'll explain that a little further. So battery pocket down to the left side, little zipper. This is what I changed over to for my police motorcycle daily operations in the winter. Because I got away from mobile warming. I went to something quality. This shirt I've had for like 2 years now. It's never failed me. It heats faster. It heats better. It's a shirt, so it fits under my Kevlar vest, which is super important. And I've also used this thing just outside hanging Christmas lights or on my dirt bike one morning because I can take it off really quick once I get sweating. But getting there keeps me warm. So battery pocket. And then this one operates with a button up over the left breast. It's just a little rubber button, and you push and hold it. It turns on. Red is high, orange is medium, green is low power. I found about the same as the Gerbing vest is the same kind of operation, on high 275, 3 hours, and then medium 4. And then that's all you have on this one is high, medium, somewhere in there, generally speaking. So, I do have the extra batteries for it, but just such a versatile, light piece, and it will heat you. You put a vest over that, like my Kevlar vest, or I put another jacket over that. That thing heats like a mother, and it is great. And then, obviously, when you turn it on, the battery lights up, but that's zipped away anyways, and that's what's nice about the button. I can literally pull my jacket back, look down, and I just know by feel. If it gets a little hot, I just push it from medium to low, just push it once. I just know that's green. And then I know if I push it again, it's red. And an amazing piece of battery gear. The batteries are high quality. The chargers, you can use the same chargers. Speaking of chargers on batteries, we have multiple different options in the Law Abiding Biker store. We've got a single, which charges one battery. We also have a dual, plugs into the wall, and then it Ys into a dual, and it will simultaneously charge either any of the Gerbing batteries. The chargers are all the same.
Yeah, when you buy the piece of gear, it comes with a battery and a single charger, but we do carry the additional, the dual chargers if you want to be able to charge more than one battery at a time.
And that's what I do. So it's nice because you could literally have, 4 batteries, two on one charger and 2 on the other overnight. And bam, you leave in the morning, you've got 4 charged batteries ready to go.
Hey, bikeaholics, searching for new and exciting motorcycle products? Zero 3D has the products you dream about for your bike. Check out their wide variety of innovative products for Harley-Davidson and Honda Goldwing motorcycles. Zero 3D's got your back with chrome and black parts, lighting, and other comfort products. No modifying, cutting, grinding, or welding for an easy installation. That equals less time installing and more time riding. Zero 3D has a design team with riders with over 40 years of experience with a passion for design and innovation. Zero and Gold Strike are the motorcycle LED lighting innovators for CAN bus plug-and-play system compatibility. They pride themselves on great customer service. Got a question? Get in touch with them via email at sales@zero3d.com or give them a call at 715-808-0027. Check at your local Harley or Honda dealerships and ask for Zero or Gold Strike parts. A new leader has emerged to check out Zero 3D's custom line of Gold Strike products for the all-new Honda Goldwings. Better yet, help support us and head on over to Law Abiding Biker store and check out our full line of Zero 3D products.
All right, so now those are my 2 favorite right now. We've got a lot of different gear in the store. They're all great. These are just the ones that I'm using and love. So we're going to move on from battery gear. I think we've covered everything with battery gear. We're going to move on to plug-in gear. So we've got a lot from Gerbing and Firstgear. Remember, Firstgear, we don't have battery gear, so that's why we didn't talk about them much. Now we're going to kind of do some light comparisons just for reference to give you guys an idea. So let's talk about, unless you want to go somewhere.
No.
Okay. So let's first talk about my favorite. This thing is awesome, and it is what I am currently running. It is of the best quality, and that is my Gerbing heated jacket liner plug-in. All right. Let me tell you about this. Lurch alluded to it a bit ago. Absolutely, for many, many years on my personal bike, this never, ever ever leaves my saddlebag. It is in there all the time, 365 days a year. I don't care if it's 110 degrees out. It does not leave my saddlebag. As you do that once,
you learn.
You end up like Lurch.
Yeah, you freeze your ass off.
And you freeze your ass off. Okay. It doesn't take up that much space. You can put it, roll it up really tight, put it in a stuff bag, whatever you want to do. It's just there. And I know if I never take it out, I can never forget it, because come a season or it's going into fall and all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, it got really cold on this day. Right. Oh fuck. I forgot I took that out when it was 110 in the summer. Just don't do it, guys. Have it there all the time. That's the nice thing about plug-in gear. And the reason I don't carry battery gear is the aforementioned reasons. My battery on my bike is always there for me and it doesn't run out. And so at any time, as long as I want, I can plug in and I can run my heated gear and I never have to worry about charging
as high
it.
as you want to.
And as high. Yeah,
you
exactly.
You don't have to manage your power.
Right. That is something with battery. I was always never high unless it was crazy. But then I'm like, son of a bitch, this battery's only going to last 2 hours. Then I got to change. So yeah, you can. It's like a hot shower. You can just turn that fucker up. As long as
enjoy it.
Yeah, enjoy it. You know, nobody's taking a shower after you. I can run this tank out. And it is a good hot heat. In fact, rarely do you turn those things up all the way. I think the only time I turned it up all the way was when you froze your ass off. We rode for 2 hours on our way to Death Valley one morning, coming out of Redding, California.
Into Susanville.
Into Susanville, 32 degrees, sustained, snow on the side of the roads for over 2 hours straight. I think that I turned that son of a bitch damn near all the way up. And it did a great job, Lurch. I'll just let you know since you don't know.
I had my heated grips all the way up. And even then I was, because I have, bars that were up above the fairing. They now have hand deflectors on them, by the way, but to help with the wind. But I had to take and put my gloves on the motor, not just down near the motor. I was putting it on the motor to try to keep warm. And when we got off that bike, I was shivering. I couldn't stop shivering. I had a hot coffee holding my hands, and I don't know, it took me at least 20 minutes, don't you think, to kind of warm up and stop shaking?
Oh, at least, yeah.
Yeah. I'll never take my heated gear out of my saddlebag again. It's always going to be there.
That's a fact. We've been with many rookie riders. You only ride wet once and you only ride cold once, and then you fix that shit real quick. There's no reason for that when there's gear like this out there. So
rain gear is always in my saddlebag and heated gear is always in there.
Yep. Good call. Rain gear, same, never taken out. There's just some hard, fast rules you should follow as a motorcyclist, a touring motorcyclist for sure. All right. So this jacket, now I'm going to lightly compare it. I did run a Firstgear for many years. Went through two of them at some point. I mean, like 10 years. So
yeah, I currently have one.
Yeah, you do too. And I do too. I'm giving mine away to somebody, a lucky winner. Okay. So, the Firstgear, heated gear, I'll just tell you, it's a plug-in. We'll talk about a little bit of the differences, but I will just say they're about the same price. Holding them next to each other, they're both good. But I will tell you that Gerbing just ousts it out a bit in the quality of the materials, just the way it's set up, the stitching. It just feels.
Something that didn't really click until now when I'm looking at their webpage is when you put your Gerbing on, we were doing the video yesterday, you were putting a microphone on and it was making some noise. And I said, is that going to pick that up? We're talking about the microphone. No, it won't. Well, what it was is it's got a ripstop nylon exterior. There you go. Which yes, if you've worn nylon, ripstop nylon, it can make noise. And it didn't occur to me until today, looking at the explanation of their gear on their website. But it is ripstop nylon, and so it's got strong, but it's also wind resistant.
See,
so a little bit different from the. It
almost feels like it would be rain. It's not rainproof, but it feels like it's that kind of outer shell, which is windproof, which is huge.
Yes,
when you're
trying to stay warm,
trying to keep the heat in. Yeah. It is amazing. Just when I got out of the box and felt it, I was like, and I held it up next to my Firstgear, I was like, oh yeah. Again, same price. Both are going to serve you. But I just want to make that light comparison. So I do have the the Gerbing right now, and that's what I'm sticking with. So let's talk, and it's a full jacket, guys. It's not really meant to be worn standalone. It's definitely meant to be worn. You wear your winter jacket over it. You could.
In fact, they call it a jacket liner.
Jacket liner. Yeah. There you go. And again, plug-in, and we're going to talk about some of the plug-in stuff and get a little bit, well, we'll try not to get too much in a rabbit hole there, but we want to explain it to you kind of how this all works. So I will tell you this real quick. So we also offer heated pants. We offer heated socks. We offer heated gloves. All right. I'm going to let Lurch kind of explain how you set that up. Because I've been doing a lot of talking and I want to give that to him, kind of how you set this gear up and your options and splitters and things like that. So I just want to tell you, I have in the past when I had my Wide Glide 05 and I would ride home. I remember some mornings, I remember seeing your wife. She said, I saw Ryan ride my Wide Glide with ape hangers, just stupidity. But at least I was smart enough to get heated gear. I had socks, I had pants, I had no fairing. And it's like 15 degrees. I rode that thing unless there was snow on the road. And I don't know. And it was freaking cold. Ape hangers, no fairing to guard your hands. So I had everything. I don't do that these days because I have a proper touring bike. I have a fairing. I have protection. And this is up to you. Don't exactly do what I say. I'm just telling you why I do what I do to give you some ideas. So you want to heat your body, right? The more heat coming in, the more heat in your bloodstream, right? In your core pumping through your body is the way I explain it, the better. So I want to heat my core, which is my chest and my back and all that core right there. We want to keep that really warm. And then the reason I don't have pants is because I have a beloved heated seat, road sofa, Saddleman available in the Law Abiding Biker store. The best seat that you can buy, in my opinion. It is a lattice stitch road sofa. It is heated front and back. And we have those available. And if you want the non-heated version, we have those too. They're an amazing seat. Links in the show notes. But so now I have my heated core and I have my heated rear and the back of my legs. So I've got heat coming in there. And then I've got my heated grips. And we definitely highly recommend heated grips, guys. Do not pay a dealership to install them. We have our very long-standing and beloved video for purchase. It will get you through the process all the way bikes back to 2000 to current. All the files are there. Do not pay a dealership. Over at lawabidingbiker.com/Harley heated grips. Look that up. Make sure that's the link. Harley heated grips. And that video, it's very affordable and it will get you through that install process. But so now I've got my core, I've got my heated seat, and I've got now heat coming up my arms, my hands. A lot of people think heated grips. Oh, it's to, was that the right link?
It says, no, maybe not.
So just try heated grips. Anyways, I've got the heated grips, and it's not necessarily about the perfect, warm. It's the grabbing those grips and the heat going into and up your arms. So now all that heat from the different areas, just search our website for heated grips install video. Sorry guys, we're looking it up for you. But I've got that heat coming from all different areas, and I've ridden in a lot of different weather that way and cold, like out of Reading, and you'll be fine. If you don't have a fairing, or you're one of those guys like Lurch, you want to take away the usability of your fairing bike and you want to screw it up and put big tall bars on it and completely lose all your wind protection of what a fairing was designed for because you think you're cool looking. I'm just teasing. I know some of you guys do it because you got long arms. Just relax. If you do that, then you've taken away all the wind protection that I get behind my Batwing fairing. And like Lurch said, we don't have any in the store. We should source some from somewhere, but I don't even know if Drag has them. But he just bought some cheap plastic. What?
They weren't cheap, but
okay.
Yeah.
How much were they?
Well, I mean, they're cheap in the grand scheme of things. Sure, I guess
they're plastic.
They're like $80.
Yeah, they're plastic.
Yeah. Memphis shades.
Yeah.
Okay. If we can get access to them, I'll have them.
Okay.
There are some. When I say they're not cheap, you can go on Amazon again.
That's what I thought.
These are not Amazon. These are Memphis shades, but you can go on Amazon and buy cheap tin metal or cheap thin plastic ones. They're like $19 or trash. These are a little bit better.
Okay.
But they do provide quite a bit of protection for your hand if you're up above the
Definitely. A must. Because the problem with heated grips, unless you're just going to get gloves, I would just go to gloves if you're not going to get the hand protectors. But that's the one thing. Your fingertips in 32-degree weather will freeze in about 2 minutes if you don't, because you've lost all your fairing protection. So be aware of that. If you want to lock that heated grip heat in there and battle that, that's the way to go with that. So a little pro tip there.
Looks like the link might be broken. We'll look at that after the show. But if you just go to the website and search heated grips, it'll come up with everything you need.
All right, we just want to let you know we did stop for a minute and look, and it is lawabidingbiker.com/Harley heated grips, no dashes, no spaces, /Harley heated grips. All right. So, love my plug-in jacket and highly recommend that. Let's move on to
the different connections and all that. Like, again, as Ryan mentioned, it just kind of depends on your setup in your bike and what you need. His setup, he doesn't need the gloves because his hands are protected and he's got a full fairing, but you might, I do have gloves. I have raised bars, even though they have the hand deflectors on them. I still, on really cold days, add those gloves. And even if I don't use them, I've got them in case I need them. So there are, with the Firstgear and with the Gerbing, 12 volt, there's a couple different ways that you plug into your bike. There are, with both of them, there are portable controllers, meaning it plugs in line from your jacket and to the 12 volt accessory plug that goes to your battery, or on your 24 Street Glide, they've got built-in plugins for the heated gear. And they call those portable. They have, the Firstgear has a single and a dual. It has some knobs so you can adjust it, and I'll get into single and dual in a second. The Gerbing has a few more options. Got some single and dual knob, and then they've got some single and dual push button ones.
These are wired.
These are wired
connections, guys. These are wired in your pocket, wired to the bike.
And you can get away with just that. You don't necessarily need what we're going to talk about, which is a wireless temp controller. Both brands offer that. You can control it with the knob in your pocket or sticking out. It can get a little cumbersome. It could be hanging out of your pocket or whatever. And you can adjust it. But both of the brands also offer a remote controller, but there's a little bit of difference between the two. The Firstgear, they call it the heat troller. It comes with a wireless controller that Bluetooths to a brick in your pocket. And that's nice in one aspect, that it's very low profile. It sits in your pocket. The wire hangs out. You plug your bike in. You turn
the Firstgear.
The Firstgear.
Yep.
You turn on your wireless controller and turn the gear on. The downside of it is that if it is Bluetooth and if it stops working, then you have no way to turn on your jacket other than to plug your jacket directly, get that portable controller out of there, and take your jacket straight into your
What portable
plug.
Controller are you talking about?
It's called a portable controller, and it's just like the one you have on your Gerbing.
Firstgear?
Yes, they do. They make them.
Okay, well, we didn't do any of that in the video.
We don't have them. We just added the Firstgear. We didn't.
I know, but we didn't talk about that.
Okay. In the video, we didn't have Firstgear stuff to reference. Hadn't added it to the store yet. So both Gerbing and Firstgear have what they call portable heat controllers. This plugs in line, right?
Okay. Yep.
Both of them also have then what you can add to it, which is a remote controller. The Firstgear, as I mentioned, is connected via a Bluetooth brick, and that's the only way to turn it on and turn it up and down, other than plugging it directly into your 12 volt accessory, and then it just comes on at the lowest setting, no adjustability. What's nice about the Gerbing, it's got some redundancies. You have your portable controller in line, which gives you the ability to turn it on and off and turn it up and down, but they also make a remote that Bluetooths to that, and then you control it. You can put it up on your dash of your bike and you can adjust it without having to look down at your pocket. But if something happens and that thing it loses its Bluetooth capability or battery dead or whatever, you can still reach down in your pocket and turn it on and get it up to full temperature, versus the Firstgear, you can only plug in directly and get it on its lowest setting for safety reasons. So that is one of the big benefits of the Gerbing, is that the remote control, it's dual. It's remote control, but it still has the portable control on it.
Yep. Very good. All right, let's do this real quick, and then we got a lot more information for you.
Ride longer and treat your ass with some respect already. Get hooked up with a premium butt buffer seat cushion. This company of bikers developed a super thin hospital-grade seat cushion made of solid and elastic materials, and it's unlike gel pads that will leak if punctured. The butt buffer is designed not to slide around your seat, fits all motorcycles, installs in seconds, easily cleans, and helps dampen those dang vibrations.
Oh, but I love vibrations on my ass.
Yes, you do. With plenty of miles to choose from, they assure you'll have comfortable ass when riding. Head on over to Law Abiding Biker Store and check out our full line of butt buffer seat cushions.
All right, so hopefully that all made sense to you guys, and watch the video. If it doesn't, we got a lot of
the video is very detailed.
Very detailed. Yep. But that is like Alert says, just to follow up on that, that is one of the deals, is you have redundancy with the Gerbing. I thought that's what you were saying.
Yeah.
First Gear had redundancy
No.
too. That's why I was confused. I was like, we didn't say that. Okay.
Yeah.
I
No
misheard
redundancy built into the
Yep.
First Gear, other than, I guess to some extent there is. You can plug it directly in, but again, you're only going to be on the lowest heat setting for safety reasons. If you want true redundancy, then I would recommend you go with the Gerbing, because then you have the portable controller that's in the pocket that operates the jacket. And you also have the remote, the wireless controller.
Yep.
That you
I
can
highly
adjust
recommend
it with.
the remote, guys. Just think about this. You've got it. Sorry, if you look at this, I'm not riding down the road leaving this thing dangling out the side of my vest. It's a big controller.
Yeah.
Could you do that? But now, or you put it in your pocket and now you're riding down the road. You've got your nice thick jacket over it. Now you want to adjust the temperature. If it's not just dangling out to the side of you, which is ridiculous, you got to unzip your coat, get it out of your pocket, look down, adjust it. Just absolute. I Velcro it right to my dash. I take the little two knob controller, Velcro it to the dash, and it's so easy for me to reach out. Oh, I'm getting a little warm, just adjust a little bit. So that's if you can swing it, that is my full recommendation there. Moving on.
With the Gerbing, we do have a kit, which is a 12-volt harness, meaning that it's got the wires that connect right to your battery. It comes with a plethora of, as Ryan likes to say, plethora of fuses, because your different items use a different amount of watts or amps. Let's say a jacket's
6.
6, and gloves are perfect. And gloves are like 2.
Yep.
Now you're at 8 amps, so you need at least an 8 amp fuse. A lot of the other brands just give you a 20, maybe even a 30 amp fuse. And what can happen is you could have some type of small draw or damage that isn't enough to blow a 20 amp fuse, but if you had the correct size fuse in there, it would pop it. So it's a bit of a safety thing. So that's a nice addition. But that harness comes with the dual portable controller, the 12-volt harness kit, again, right to the battery, and it comes with the wireless remote. And I should note that if you're going to use the wireless remote, you need to use the dual portable temp controller.
Yep. I want to back up just a little bit because we breezed over the harness. It could be confusing for a lot. So what he's talking about is you need a power source. And so the harness with the fuses is a positive, negative terminals. You basically put it to your battery where your positive and negative go. It has an inline fuse block, and then it has the heated gear male or female connection. You can route that right out, your left side panel up near your fuel tank, wherever you want it, because that's directly where you're going to plug your coat in. That's where you're going to get your power. I can be scary when he talks about all the different fuses and amps. Don't be concerned with it. In that kit, it tells you, it has a picture and it shows a coat, gloves, pants, and there's all the different colored fuses. And so in this case, a jacket 6, gloves 2, it's an 8. That would be, let's just say, a blue, and it would have the color blue for 8. And then you would just get the blue fuse and put it in. So it's very not complicated to decide how much gear and which fuse that you want to use. Now, with that said, nice. The 24s are finally coming with 2 OEM accessory plugs that are heated gear plugs. They're the same connector. So the thing about those is they're short, and I wish Harley would have just put a little more slack on them, but we've got a solution. So what I did is, because they sit right under your seat and they're in 2 little tray holders, I can't get them out to my tank to the front, my left side panel. So what I did is, we have this available in the Law Abiding Biker store, and it's simply an extension and Gerbing, very high quality. And I plugged it in. That gives me the lead and the amount that I need to get it out up near the front of my tank, and I can plug my jacket in. We also have a second version of it, which is a coiled version. As Lurch goes on here, that can also be used in between components to give you a little more slack if you did want to take your wired box and try to Velcro it to your dash. I just think it's kind of a mess. I would go with the wireless controller, but it has some uses. So I just wanted to clean that up a little bit.
And with the little difference, we do sell a kit for Gerbing, but also you can buy all the Gerbing stuff individually and make what you need. When you go over to our First Gear stuff, you'll find that the portable controllers and the wireless controllers all come with the kit and everything that's needed. It's just a kit. You can't buy it nice. a la carte. It's kind of nice either way. And the truth is, the wires, that's a universal plug-in. You can use them swippy-swappy if you need to. And then
Did you say swippy swappy?
Swippy swappy.
It's nice.
So you can use a Gerbing extension,
Right.
for your first gear. It's the same barrel plug.
Yep.
As far as wiring, though, you've got single and dual controllers. If you can control multiple things on either.
And when he says wiring, he means wiring to the different components
Yes.
within the jacket, gloves, pants. Okay.
Yeah,
Not
I was
bike
gonna-
wiring.
Yeah, no, I was going to get there.
Well, you should have got there already.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
now you're already confusing people. All right, go
Just
ahead.
you, I guess. So with the wired
That's what I'm here
gear,
for.
there's multiple items that you can have, right? So you can have jacket, pants, gloves, and socks, and you can put those on two different circuits because there's single controllers that if you daisy chain them all together, and I'll talk about how to do that. If you daisy chain them all together, then you can only have one temperature setting, meaning everything is on the same setting. Both Gerbing and Firstgear have dual controllers as well. So now you can split that up and you can say, put your pants and gloves on one and your jacket and liners on another. And you can get creative and you can start putting splitters in there. We also sell Y splitters so that you can connect those things together. So it just depends. I have a single controller for my Firstgear just because my gloves and my jacket, I'm just going to put them on the same temperature setting. But you could have different temperature settings for different pieces of gear, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so we're going to slow that down and back it up a little bit. It's a good overview. So interestingly enough, as I sit here, Lurch, and think, I just thought of it. My very first podcast on an iPad in my daughter's closet for soundproofing, episode 1 was Heated Gear.
Was it really?
And it was on Firstgear, and
Okay.
it was going through the connections. Exactly what you're going through was what I did
Nice.
on that. Do not go listen to that.
Yeah, please do.
Please do not.
Please go all the way back and listen.
No, I leave it there. I'm not embarrassed about anything. I started somewhere, and you'll see where we're at now. So just to give you an overview, if you're new to Heated Gear, the video will help it too, but I want to make sure this is an evergreen episode. So here's what, to back up what Lurch said, here's how it looks. So my Gerbing jacket liner in the left pocket has 2 of the Heated Gear connections, barrel connectors. One says jacket, one says gloves. On the cuff of each arm on my jacket is a zipper pocket. You could open that up and there's 2 more barrel adjusters. That's where you would plug in your gloves. Now, down in the inside left pocket, those 2 barrel adjusters, I take my manual controller. It has it has 2 sides. You plug one side into the jacket and the other barrel adjuster that comes off it, you plug into the gloves.
Barrel plug-in.
Barrel plug-in. You plug those 2 in. So now I've got an adjustment, and that little box has an adjustment for my gloves and my liner at that point. And then on the other side of that box, the wire goes out that plugs into the connector on the bike for power. That's a simple setup as you have. So what Lurch is talking about is, let's say we added pants to the mix now. You don't have another connector. So what you do is, if you wanted your pants and your jacket to be at the same temperature at all times, you would you would undo the jacket side, the one that says jacket, you would split it with a Y adapter, then you would plug in your pants and you would plug in your jacket. All right. And then that side would control both of those. On the other side, just as examples, you can do this however you want.
Yeah.
The other side could be gloves. You could split that with a Y adapter and do your gloves and socks, or any mixture therein, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you can get extension wires. That's not the best setup,
right,
because
yeah,
socks are
yeah.
way down. I'm just saying it gives you an idea of how to, that's all I'm trying to do.
Perfect. And we do just tell you, we do have a Y harness, a long Y harness, if you want to do that.
Right.
So you can get down to your socks. Typically, because the jacket,
Pants and socks, jacket, yeah.
that's the easiest thing to do is just use your splitters and then plug your jacket and your gloves together, then your pants and your socks. But
it makes sense.
Like you said, you can do whatever you want. You can get creative with the wiring if you want to.
Yep. So yeah, however you want to set that up, because off your pants, I believe, are the socks
Yes.
connectors
Yeah.
at the bottom
Yeah,
of the
just
pant
like a
cuffs.
jacket.
So yeah, so you could do, that probably is the easiest setup. But again, that's how you control all of this different stuff. And like Lurch said, get as creative as you want to. Let's see. I just want to go over our notes here, guys. There is a CR 2032 battery in the remote. It's very easy to pair. I'm not going to tell you how on the podcast. Go to the video, take 2 seconds to pair. And just to the control box has 2 knobs for the Gerbing. They don't sell a single, which I don't really care. I'm only using one side of that because I'm only doing a heated liner. And so don't worry about getting the 2, just one of the knobs you want to use. One of them is white. And I know that in my plug for my jacket is white. And so you just make sure you have the right side paired. But so that's all I'm using in there. But with that said, again, both options are good. We talked about a little bit more redundancy with the Gerbing, and they are about the same price point. I've tested and used both of them, and that's why we're able to and agreed that we could bring both of those brands to the law-abiding biker store. If you have any questions, number one, if the question's answered in the video, we're going to send you a link to the video. All right, because it's a plethora of information. We might even send you a link to this podcast, but if you do have any further questions or something that you missed or didn't understand, of course, that's what service you get here. We're not the big boys here. We are here just bikers helping bikers, bootstrap company bikers, trying to help as many bikers as we can worldwide. We appreciate every single customer. We will answer your question over at the store. There's a contact form, and please do it over there. It's a way for us to manage the questions over there and get back to you. And don't forget, if you're huge savings in the law-abiding biker store compared to the other guys, because we aren't some big conglomerate. If you're not a Washington State resident, you don't pay taxes. That's a huge savings if you're getting anything in our store. And also orders over $100, free shipping. And we will obviously answer your questions. You've got real bikers, not customer service people, like real bikers like that use this stuff and have studied it, answering your questions. And don't forget, on top of all that, if you're a patron member, mid-level or above, you get to use your 365-day store coupon code store-wide for anything. So on top of free shipping, no tax, and then on top of that, you can get some real savings you will not find anywhere else.
It may take us a day or two to get back to you. We may look large online with our presence of podcasts and YouTube videos and store, but we are just a small company of bikers, and so it can take us a couple days to get back to you, but we will.
Yep, absolutely.
Bear with us.
And if you do have a question, I guarantee probably the video is going to answer it for you. There's probably not going to be a lot more questions than that. So we hope, I'm just trying to make sure before we kind of take it out here, because we had light, we just did these notes and we kind of just went with the video, and I was trying to think of everything we did on the video. Oh, another thing you missed it again. I'm going to stop telling Lurch, hey, is there anything else? I did this on the video yesterday, and it was like, we had to get the camera back out like 2 times. And I'm just teasing him. He's an old fart. Is SAE connector. So
oh yeah,
we forgot this yesterday too. One huge thing, guys, also available in the store, and is, so we talked about the harness.
The funny thing is, I thought about this earlier when you're talking about your adventure bike. I'm like, I got to bring that up, and then I forgot.
See, that's what I get, dude. Yeah. I start writing because I'm like, start a note. You got to, because I'll have to. Yeah. So SAE connector, guys. So here's another great option. So we talked about the harness, negative, positive to the battery, and then it comes off. It's an inline fuse. Great way. OEM, Harley's coming out with them now. But a lot of us, like my adventure bike, I don't want to necessarily have to put one of those on. I rarely use heated gear on the adventure bike, the wired stuff, although I probably will more. So this connector, basically, we all know you put battery tenders on your bikes, right? And that little battery tender SAE connector, wherever it's coming out on your bike, we have a conversion for that. So you can literally, that's already there. We already know it's direct to your battery. We already know it's fused. You can take that and you can plug it in. And then, so it goes from SAE battery tender, I'm going to call it connector, to the barrel heated gear connector. So you can take that plug that's already there, convert it, and power your heated gear off that. Great. Like I say, for my KLR 650, I can't even get anything else on the battery because those terminals are so small. So yeah, I'm able to take advantage of something that's already there. So that's available in the Law Abiding Biker Store. Another option dependent on how you want to get set up and get your heated gear going. Anything else, Lurch?
I'm looking over the heated gear, and I think we have covered it all.
Okay, last I'll say, guys, don't ride cold. Don't make the mistake, Lurch, just because you're going to Death Valley. No,
you'll learn.
We just tease them about that. You'll learn. Do not do it. And even heated gear, heated seat, heated grips, just some summer trips we've ridden, even Death Valley, was hot down there. But I remember one morning coming out, it was July, coming out of Jackson Hole at 8 a.m. and it was like 55 degrees sun. It was sunny. Body's not acclimated because I came from Yakima where it was 100 plus for weeks before we went on that trip. And when you're not acclimated, why would you want to fight being cold? I mean, I just put on my jacket liner, put her on low, and just ride comfortable. And then I can just enjoy myself, enjoy the scenery. I remember real quick story, and we'll take it out. And I've told it before on this podcast, but back in the day, thought we were tough, young, riding a wide glide, ape hangers, no fairing, no proper gear. Thought I would take the little portable, rain gear that's cheap plastic. It's a little, you can literally fit the bag in your back pocket. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's like for walking around a park.
Plastic.
Yeah, it's just plastic. Thought that would be good, and it was a torrential downpour. Anyways, I very specifically remember hypothermic condition about where Lurch was, heading to Death Valley, and I went to a bathroom. I was so desperate. I stood under a hand dryer and kept pushing the button and trying to get my core temperature back, which I just couldn't. So it could be dangerous too, guys. And why would you want to ride like that? I was young, dumb, but like Lurch said, as long as everybody's going to make mistakes, the key is to learn from your mistakes. And on that bombshell, I think that's a good way to take it out of here.
That is the true test of a intelligent person.
Yeah, true.
If you make an error, do you learn from it?
Yep. Try to make a couple good decisions in a row.
That's right.
Back to back.
That's what life's all about.
That's right.
Try to make a few good decisions in a row.
Well, we appreciate you guys being here very much. I know that was a lot. And that's funny.
There's a lot to it.
That was episode 1.
Yeah. That
started this in 2013. That was what I would want to talk about back then.
And we're closing out 2024 with it.
That's crazy, dude. Crazy.
There's been a lot of advancements.
Yeah, totally.
A lot of new stuff. It's hard to... You're like, how can you do a whole episode on heated gear? There's a lot to talk about.
Right.
If you really want to get into it and talk about experience and what works well.
After we did the video, I knew, I was like, oh, that's going to be a long podcast. Yeah. Because there is a lot here. And obviously, the videos are great. We have to keep those. It's YouTube a little bit quicker, but we talked about things in here that we didn't talk about on the video.
Absolutely.
We can tell stories and we can have fun. So long form podcast content is for sure different. But that's why we like to get it out in both formats, because everybody learns a different way. And I would say, listen to this and then watch the video, and you will be an expert on current heated gear, first gear, and gerbing anyways. And again, we love gerbing. I back it. I back first gear, but I'm just loving my 3 pieces of gerbing gear, guys. And the shirt is amazing. It's good looking too. That's labeled well. They're good looking garments.
Stylish. Yeah.
And the vest, of course, I'll be wearing that this winter, especially like when I'm out. We got to plow snow on the lawn tractor with the blade. I'll throw that baby on, that vest. It's just great. Throw my winter coat over it. And throw some earbuds in and listen to the Law Abiding Biker podcast while you're plowing snow. If you don't get snow, you guys suck. No, I'm happy for you, because I'm not
Lucky
a fan.
You.
I've lived here, most of my life, and it's something we deal with. But Lurch and I say, the older we get,
the less we like it.
The less I don't like the cold weather. I don't like the snow. Although I'm curious, if I did move, would I miss it at all?
Probably not.
Probably not. Okay, fair enough. It is, we built our life here. We've got the studio. We've got the store. Maybe someday I'd have to get Lurch to agree to pick up the entire business. They've done it,
Oh, yeah.
You got a couple big podcasters moved from California.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
They can be done, but I can't lose my COO, and he can't commute to, where would we move?
Oh, boy. Texas would be great.
Yeah, there you go.
Texas would be great. Maybe
Texas
some parts of Arizona. Tennessee.
Yeah.
Would be good. Not quite hot all the time, but still a cool state.
Yeah, true.
I don't know.
It's something I think about. We have a lot to move, but I'm not saying we're going to do that, guys. But
we're pretty lucky being on the east side here. At least we're removed from some of the politics. And
true.
We still have to deal with some of that Western Washington, Seattle type politics, but the worst thing for us is just the snow as we get older. Yep. I get it now. When my parents are bitching about being cold and wanting to be snowbirds, I didn't get it when I was young.
Yep.
Now that I'm not so young, I get it. Yeah.
I still love snowboarding every weekend, though. 45 minutes away. Love it. Peace.